Today's morning coffee vinyl side. Ken Griffin, You Can't Be True, Dear, 1956. When Ken Griffin suffered his second heart attack at the age of 46 in 1956, I'm sure he only had the briefest of moments to recognize that this was it, before his last moments of consciousness flickered and he was gone. My own recent near death has taught me that the moment, when it comes, is already over. You don't so much as live it, but briefly observe it, and you'll either make it through the moment or you won't. After suffering a post-operative arterial bleed inside my neck following a routine thyroidectomy 2 months ago, I had just minutes, then seconds to recognize that I was going to bleed to death or lose my airway and suffocate, or that I'd be saved. It was a question I posed in wonder. I wonder if I'll make it. And it struck me as curiously funny, in a detached way, that if I died, I wouldn't even know. That I'd only know the answer to the question if I lived. But funny too, because the question itself, and the memory of it, and the memory of every life experience I have ever had, would only be known to me if I was able to access them again if I survived. I lived all those experiences once, but it's in my memory, in the dynamic storehouse of my consciousness, where I've danced with them all innumerable times in innumerable permutations, where I reaffirm both that I lived, but that I live. This album was one of many that record companies released after Ken's death, this being one of the first. And the liner notes talk about memories, Ken's memory, and the memories Ken's music evokes in others. His prolific recording archive of popular songs spanning the first half of the 20th century serve as both a binding agent to memory, but also the key to facilitate and unlock access to them. And if we live in memory, or at least accept that memory is a fundamental part of living, then that makes music fundamental to life. No, it's a little early to proof this little excursion through memory and the philosophic realm. And as I awake from the fog of sleep into the clarity of the sunlight and what lies ahead, I'm thankful to be here, to remember. And there's something about Ken's organ that's tugging me back. I remember my grandmother, my mother, my father, my Auntie Barb and my friend Michael, my Uncle Bucky and Cousin Jan. And as long as I live and remember, they live too, because I remember. Oh boy, it looks like it's going to be one of those days.